online radio podcast about all things medical cannabis. Your host, Belle,
and the Cannabis Kid. Our show features news, interviews, and all the latest information about anything and everything medical cannabis related in Tucson, Arizona,
and the world at large.
We'd love to hear from you. Please give us a call live at 646-915-8421. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on all social media, or email thc2son@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Tumbleweeds Health Center and Studio C, along with our many sponsors, for hosting our show every week. With the lowest price certifications in town, you'll find hemp products, accessories, and all things related to medical cannabis education.
Visit Tumbleweeds Health Center at 4826 East Broadway Boulevard or online at tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. And remember,
Be smart
be safe
and educate.
Yeah. Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? Huh? Golf claps. Golf claps are coming. Oh, you know, you're hearing bells. You're like, what the hell is she doing? I know you all want to know just how many days until Christmas. Come on now. 331 days until Christmas and 332 until it's over. For you, Mr. Allen. Oh, that's funny. That's funny to me anyway. Good morning. How is everybody in the world of weed? What's going on out there, kids? Mama wanted to say hi. Hi, Mama Kitty. I know it. She just wants more treats. You can't have them all day. No, you can't have them all day. Uh-oh.
If you suffer from one of these medical conditions and have been diagnosed by an Arizona licensed physician, medical cannabis may help relieve your symptoms. Tumbleweeds Health Center is Arizona's premier cannabis certification, health, and education center. Our primary focus is to help the patients of Arizona obtain their medical marijuana card and educate everyone about medical cannabis. With current medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana card.
Chronic conditions holding you back from a happy, healthy life? Get on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to lifestyle. I would really say that CBD has changed my life. I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore. Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
Someone's going to have to show me how to get this stuff off of repeat. I swear I have tried. Maybe it's that. I don't think it is. Let me see. Let me look at some things. No, I don't think it is. We'll find out when we play some more commercials. But yes, you can get your certification. You can get your medical cannabis card at Tumbleweeds Health Center. Give us a call at 520-838-4430. You can also just come on down to the Good Leaf at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. We are right next to Bookman's, and we will certify you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Also, you don't have to come down at all. You can get a telemedicine appointment. Go to our website, tumbleweedshealthcenter.com, and check out the telemedicine section. Fill out the form. We will get you on the schedule and send you a link, and you can just sit in your cozy little car or on your couch or wherever you are and hang out and get certified. Okie dokie. Excuse moi. All right. I'm not used to the YouTube thing. I don't show my face. You don't want to see it this early, trust me. Maybe someday. Maybe we'll do afternoon shows. All right, let's get to some cannabis news. We are checking out azmarijuana.com, well, an Arizona online magazine. We've got a little event coming up January 31st, Midnight Madness at Mint Cannabis Dispensary. I think that's up in Phoenix or Tempe or somewhere. Midnight Madness is coming to Mint Cannabis Saturday, January 31st, and adults are invited to the ultimate late night party. Mint is tuning up the vibes with a full-on disco madness theme, complete with a disco ball, strobe lights, and music to keep the energy high all night long. Whether you're coming for the deals, the atmosphere, or the free giveaways, this is one event you won't want to miss. You heard it, free giveaways. Now people are running. What to expect? Vendors on site from top cannabis brands. Woohoo! Exclusive Midnight Madness deals starting at 11 p.m. Games, giveaways, surprises throughout the night, free snacks and free hot chocolate. Oh, I'm there for the hot chocolate, especially if they've got whipped cream. Come on. Who doesn't get a hot chocolate without whipped cream? Please. They've got disco vibes with music, strobe lights, and the glowing disco ball. A midnight freebie starting right at midnight, 12 a.m. The first 50 customers to make a purchase will receive a free eighth. No better way to celebrate Midnight Madness. When and where? That would be Saturday, January 31st. The time is 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Woo! And where? That's it. Mint's, Tempe, and Buckeye locations. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Right on. Oh, that sounds like fun if you're into disco and free weed. That's pretty funny. You guys are late to the game. And for some reason, I don't know why, these updates kill me, man. Apple, I'm using an Apple, and I know you guys are like, oh, that's why. Be quiet. Yeah. So you can't even laugh right. They did this damn update and everything's in a bubble form. And it's ridiculous. I was going to say something else, but I might get in trouble. But it's absolutely ridiculous because who needs a bubble? For one, I'm already in my own bubble, so I don't need to be reminded that I'm in another bubble. But your bubbles suck, Apple, because they're all weird now. And what my point was, all my sound levels are completely different, or maybe they were always completely different, and now I'm just noticing them because I don't know why. Either way, all the levels are weird, so my apologies. And as someone who went through sound engineering school, this should all be the same, but I don't record each of these things, and you have to know that everybody records things differently. As far as sound and levels and mixes, and yeah, we'll fix it in the mix, my ass. Yeah, that's funny. Sound engineers know what that means. Fix it in the mix. It means you're just sloppy when you're doing it in the first place, and you're going to try and fix it later. You can't do it. Just can't do it. All right. Sometimes you can. Okay, a lot of times you can. All right, well, there you have it. Mint's mixing it up with a big disco rave. The 31st, that's this Saturday coming up. That's just in a couple days, kids. If you want to get up to Tempe, don't mint and drive. Don't party at this disco ball place and then hit the road. Have a designated driver, because some of the stuff that they're handing out is super strong. Yeah, super strong. I remember when I did my very first dab, I was like, I was at the High Times Cannabis Cup in Sonoma, California, and I was hanging out with Magic Flights people. Hello, Magic Flight. Are you guys still taking flight with your Magic Flights? We love you guys. I was hanging out with them, and he's like, you want to try a dab? And I was like, okay. And I hadn't done anything. I tell the story a lot because it's funny, because when I got there, I was in Weedsday Wednesday mode, and I wanted to go talk to some people and get some interviews. And I did. I got Kyle Cushman interview, which was super fun, super nice guy. And I got a baker, this baker, he's from the Bay Area somewhere, but oh my gosh, this guy made medicated Twinkies. Yeah, they were absolutely delicious. I think it was probably just the cream center that they replaced or something, but oh my Lord, they were amazing. Anyway, when I got there, I was like, okay, you can't get high until you pass out all your business cards. I took a stack of cards and I went by myself, and I like to go places by myself a lot, actually. It's really a good groovy thing to do. You can just do whatever the hell you want. And you don't have to wait for someone. You don't need anyone's opinions. And you just get your own damn cheese. All right, inside joke with me and Silver Sister. So for 3 hours, I wandered around High Times Cannabis Cup. People were just literally, I am not kidding when I say that they were throwing weed at you. I mean, joints, edibles, vapes. In fact, when I did get back after 3 hours of passing out on my cards and getting some interviews, including the Kyle Cushman one, I went and allowed myself to go partake a bit. And I entered a vaping competition and won. Me and this other guy tied for first place. Is huge. This guy was like 6'4", 300 pounds. And I vaped the heck out of this little tiny vape machine, this vape pen. And I think it was based on the cloud billow. I don't know. Mine was just way bigger. So at any rate, we both won first, and we both got to keep our vapes and got some extra stuff. And that was really super fun. That was funny, actually. That was really, really funny being up on stage. If you knew how tiny I am, I'm a stick. And this guy was just like, it would be like being up there with Shrek. Seriously. It's awesome. And he was so nice. Oh, we high-fived. All right. Anyway, get on over there. Get on over to Mint. And Saturday night, you got to be a late nighter. It's 11 p.m. Starts at 11. And that's when all the deals start too. So get on over. There's going to be lots of giveaways. And I'd go for the disco ball if it was in town. Who doesn't like a good disco ball? All right. Tempe and Buckeye locations at Mint dispensaries. All right. Also from azmarijuana.com, did you know that cannabis can improve cognitive performance in seniors? They're showing, this is great. They show this old guy taking a hit of looks like a spliff. He looks like he's somewhere in like Jamaica. Anyway, older adult. Hang on. I need a little sip of my decaf because it makes such a difference. All right, older adults with a history of cannabis use exhibit superior cognitive performance and slower age-related declines in execution function, according to data published in the journal Age and Aging. Wow. Israeli researchers assessed cognitive performance in a cohort of more than 67,000 adults, and the mean age was 67 years old. Ooh. Compared to non-users, participants with a history of cannabis use perform better across all cognitive domains: attention, executive function, processing speed, visual and working memory. Additionally, past use was associated with a slower decline in executive function. So it'd be cool to know what all these parameters are and what they mean, because that'd be fun to take these tests. Excuse me. I'm hiccuping up coffee for some reason. All right. Positive associations were strongest for former users, while outcomes were less consistent among current cannabis consumers. Quote, findings from our cross-sectional analyses show that participants with cannabis use experience performed better across all cognitive assessments compared to those without, researchers reported. These associations were primarily driven by participants with former use experience, while current use experience showed a more limited association, reaching significance only for working memory tasks. Similarly, our longitudinal analysis demonstrated a slower cognitive decline among former users with no significant associations observed for current users. Oh, somebody was outside there. The study's author concluded, quote, while cognitive harms are often assumed among older cannabis users, our results suggest a more nuanced picture. These findings may support balanced messaging that informs decisions, reduces age-related cannabis stigma, and promotes clinician-patient dialogue on therapeutic cannabis. Separate longitudinal data published last year similarly concluded that older adults with a history of cannabis use exhibit, quote, statistically significant less cognitive decline compared to non-users. There you go. Smoke weed. Oh, this is a funny show. You know, I've been doing this for almost, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I'm about to say it, almost 14 years. That's crazy. I seriously think it's one of the longest cannabis shows on the planet. Exactly. And we did get a top 10 world cannabis shows from some random awesome dude that was just critiquing cannabis shows all over the planet, and he happened to tune in and like this one. So thank you, random awesome dude. And that's what's awesome. I can just go off on little tangents like that. All right. If you want to tune in, blog in, or type in, or whatever, you have to go. It's on YouTube. And I guess if you typed in Weedsday Wednesday, you would find us. You can also go to tumbleweedsouthcenter.com and go to the radio section and click it says click for radio show. So you click it and you go. Oh, no. I forgot to update that, but there's the link right there. It's to YouTube. That's funny. I'm so glad I just did that. I thought I had pushed save. If you don't save a million places when you're trying to update these websites, it doesn't happen just like that. We used to be on Blog Talk Radio, and before that, we were on TalkShoe. I don't even know what TalkShoe means, but that's where we were. All right. If you want to get certified in the great state of Arizona, you heard the commercial, but now I'm going to give you a list of the ailments that can get you certified. And you don't even have to be in Tucson anymore. You can just hop online and get certified. All right. The conditions are, and this one especially, you have to have your own records for. In fact, most of these you will already have records if you've been diagnosed with a lot of these. But PTSD, you have to have current medical records, and for Arizona, current means in the last 12 months. Cancer, glaucoma, AIDS, and like I said, if you're getting diagnosed with things like these, then you've seen a doctor. Chronic pain, we can help with that diagnosis. A lot of people don't like to go to doctors, and we have found in the last almost 15 years that we have been in business. 15, holy Toledo. Less and less people are going to doctors. There's a lot of urgent cares. There's a lot of acupuncture, a lot of chiropractor. No, I don't want to ask about the page. See, weird things happening. This thing, Gemini. What the heck is Gemini? Is that like Chat GTP? Or I guess I could ask Gemini, what are you? Then I have to hit a button and who knows where it's going to go. Oh, squirrel. Sorry about that. Chronic pain covers everything from migraines, fibromyalgia, arthritis, DDD, leg cramps, menstrual cramps. Did you know Queen Elizabeth used to use this way back in the day? Seizures, all seizures, including epilepsy. HIV, Hep C, ALS, Crohn's, agitation of Alzheimer's, dementia, anything in between. spasms, including multiple sclerosis, things like Parkinson's. If you didn't hear your ailment, don't worry, because if you've got something like insomnia, IBS, endometriosis, like I said, the arthritis is, these things are covered in here if whatever you're treating is causing something on the list. So, like Parkinson's, some muscle spasm. Tourette's causes muscle spasms and migraines. So does Asperger's and autism and insomnia. A lot of these things cause something on the list: chronic pain, nausea, seizures, wasting syndromes, muscle spasms, all sorts of stuff that you could be treated with a type of medicines, unfortunately, that can cause cancer. So those are the conditions. Here's the help.
You suffer from one of these medical conditions and have been diagnosed by an Arizona licensed physician, medical cannabis relieve your symptoms. Tumbleweeds Health Center is Arizona's premier cannabis certification, health, and education center. Our primary focus is to help the patients of Arizona obtain their medical marijuana card and educate everyone about medical cannabis. With current medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana card.
Chronic conditions holding you back from a happy, healthy life? You're on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to fit your health lifestyle.
I would definitely say that CBD has changed my life. I mean, I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore.
Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
All right, somebody just tell me how to make these stop instead of continuously playing. I know there's a button. I can't figure it out. Nope. I cannot figure it out. Added. Here's a whole list. Play, shuffle, play next. I've done that. I've done that. And it just won't do it. All right. Let's get to some more news. Okay. Yeah, certifications are just $269. If you have food stamps, you get $75 off. And we need to riot the Capitol and be like, guys, seriously, decrease your damn fee to $35. Sorry, I'm swearing, but it's maddening. More people would get certified. And then maybe there would be an emphasis more on medical cannabis, which people need to learn about. All right, here we go. Let's see what else is going on in the world of weed. So, yes, cannabis can improve cognitive performance in seniors. We got Midnight Madness. Wild brand acquired Grown in major cannabis industry transaction. Okay. Verano launches Swift Lifts as a standalone pre-roll brand. So there's some new joints out there. And what else we got out there? 20 Arizona dispensaries made the top 100 dispensaries of 2025 list. What is that all about? Interesting. Okay, well, let's see. Well, wait a minute. Okay. 20 marijuana dispensaries throughout Arizona made it into Leafly's top 100 dispensaries. Okay, of 2025. Let's see. Some of the requirements were that every dispensary had a 4.7 customer rating or higher, and every dispensary displayed an exceptional level of customer satisfaction in written reviews. Below are the Arizona dispensaries that made the cut, and they're ranked. Number 1 was Jars Cannabis in Metro Center. Go Jars. Woo woo. Next, we've got Ponderosa Dispensary in Glendale, Jars in Mesa, Nature's Wonder in Apache Junction, the Sticky Saguaro in Chandler, Ponderosa Dispensary in Flagstaff, the Mint Cannabis in Tempe, Jars Cannabis El Mirage, Ponderosa Dispensary in Mesa, Jars Phoenix Airport, Jars East Tucson, PRC by Sunday Goods Phoenix, Cureleaf in Queen Creek, Jars Cannabis in Tolson, the White Mountain Health Center in Sun City, True Med Dispensary in Phoenix, Jars Cannabis, Prescott Valley, Deeply Rooted El Mirage, The Mint Cannabis in Phoenix, and Zen Leaf in Mesa. Wow, folks. Wow, that's a lot. Good job, guys. 4.7 rating. Another inside joke. All right, there you go. There you have it. There's your list. All right, it's a pretty good list. All right, let's see what else is going on in the world of weed. As we get closer to the break, let's see here. Now we'll just check on some stories. I'm not falling behind. This is Cannabis Business Times. I'm not sure if we'll have time to read the whole thing. Oh, we might. It's not too bad. Here's an article about 3 senators that are filing a bill to keep intoxicating hemp products legal until late 2028. Lawmakers in both chambers of Congress are now fighting to keep intoxicating hemp products legal until November 2028 in the name of allowing farmers time to prepare. U.S. Senators, Rand Paul and Amy Klobuchar and Jeff Merkley introduced legislation January 15th that aims to delay the forthcoming federal prohibition by 2 years from its current effective date of November 13th, 2026. The legislation, the Hemp Planting Predictability Act, mirrors what a bipartisan group of 5 House members introduced on January 12th, which intends to amend a continuing resolution that President Donald Trump signed into law in December to end the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Attached to that resolution was a provision to prevent intoxicating hemp products from, quote, being sold online in gas stations and corner stores, quote, by outlying products containing more than 0.3% total THC or 0.4 milligrams of total THC per container. The provision will also prohibit consumable hemp products from containing cannabinoids that are synthesized outside the plant, i.e. Delta 8 THC, or that are not capable of being naturally produced, i.e. HHC. Senator Mitch McConnell and Rep. Andy Harris spearheaded the hemp production prohibition language as a means to end a, quote, loophole in the 2018 Farm Bill that led to the proliferation of these products nationwide. Quote, as many states have stepped in to curb these dangerous products from reaching consumers, particularly children, it's time for Congress to act to close the loophole while protecting the industrial hemp industry, Harris said in June, when the House Appropriations Committee approved similar language to the Agricultural, Rural Development, Food and Drug Administration and related agencies' appropriations bill. After Trump signed what many industry stakeholders view as a hemp-killing provision in the FDA funding package, lawmakers in both parties and in both chambers are now attempting to write the timeline for farmers. The bicameral legislation states, quote, Section 781 of the Agricultural, Rural Development, Food and Drug Administration and Related Agency Appropriations Act 2026, 7 U.S.C. 16390 note Public Law 6119 through 37 is amended in the matter preceding paragraph 7, parentheses 1, by striking 365 days and inserting 3 years. While Klobuchar had yet to issue a press release on the legislation as of January 16th, she made her position known shortly after the hemp provision was included in the deal to reopen the government. Quote, a one-size-fits-all approach to hemp regulation doesn't work for states like Minnesota that already have strong safety standards in place, she said in December. We can protect our kids and support our small businesses. Minnesota's model proves that possible. Under current state rules, small businesses like Wild State Cider are licensed, meet labeling and packaging standards, and ensure their products are available only to adults. I want our state's small businesses and farmers to know I've got your back. Well, lock up your stuff, ding-dongs. Klobuchar was joined by local business executives of Cidery in Duluth, Minnesota, which produces a line of THC-infused products. Oh, I've got a kitty out there, just I think trying to actually. Sorry, folks. This is what happens when you have too many kitties. They make noises, and you're like, "What is going on?" Well, you know what? We still got a ways to read. So you know what I'm going to do? We're going to have some fun. We're going to go to my favorite song right now. Where is it? Where is it? Let's play it.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
Walk into my house like, what up? I got some good pop. I'm just pumped up, got some herb from the pot shop. Ice in the fridge, it used to be frosty. My friends like, damn, that's a stone ass don't care. Rolling in hella high, looking like a speaker time. Dominating all my friends as I eat some chili fries. Draped in a snuggie with my girl sitting next to me. Probably shouldn't have had a big gulp full of iced tea. But shit, it was 99 cents. I'll be blazing and smoking, about to go and get some munchies next. Passing up on those cracker jacks, Reese's Pieces of Barrett's. I gotta get me some soda pop. Cotton mouth has me giving up, but can't remember where I put my keys. Yeah, that's what's up. I'ma take your grandpa's ride. I'ma take your grandpa's ride. Yo, for real, ask your grandpa, can I take a 65? DeVille cruising to my local Publix. Nothing better than rolling with two super fly chicks. They have frozen burritos. I bought frozen burritos. I bought some Ben and Jerry's, and then I bought some Cheetos. Hello, my main man Obama. A couple states have just reformed their laws on marijuana. What you gonna do? Send the feds there? Hell no. The DPAs will be like, oh, they got volcanoes.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
What you know about the science of marijuana? What you know about people suffering from glaucoma? They need it. It helps them with their condition. If you don't believe me, then just ask some eye physicians. Think your granddad voting for that guy Richard Nixon is the president who made the plant illegal. But science is now showing that it's medicine for people and the plant sequestrated to keep all of that illegal. Alcohol and tobacco, pharmaceutical business. I'll take those four major lobby groups and fight those motherfuckers. They're making money day and night. All those motherfuckers. And bribing Congress out of sight. All those motherfuckers. They be like, oh, it's immoral and unhealthy. I'm like, how many people are you making wealth? And marijuana lobbies are making all kinds of profits, and they don't want you to stop because of all the specialty interest. I call that getting swindled and peeing shit. I call that getting tricked by the government. That was hella old. What's time to update it, regulate it, and then get it under state control. Peak game, looking to my bullet and telescope. Think it's gonna stay like this forever? Not hella won't. Not hella won't. Hey, Obama! Stop being a hypocrite! You used to smoke weed!
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome. This is the war on drugs. It's time to pull the plug. These special interest groups are nothing more than corporate thugs. Let's end the war on weed. The people have agreed. These special interest groups have built these awful rivalries. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
All right, welcome back to Weedsday Wednesday. That's my little baby kitty. Welcoming everybody back. I get nervous because, well, there are 9 little kitties, and there are, and I hate to even say it, there are coyotes in the neighborhood, and they are, yeah, scary because they come through the hood and they literally will hop over 6-10 foot fences, not even thinking twice about it. And they will pick up our little babies and they will prance down the road with them and head to the desert. And then you don't see your baby anymore. And it is awful. It is just, yeah, it's a big boo. And I've seen it myself. Otherwise I wouldn't be saying it. They are absolutely insane. And it's just, it creates way too much anxiety. So that's why I have to smoke a lot of weed. Just kidding. But it really does. I know, and people are like, keep the cats inside. No way. Sorry, man. There's 9 of them. And I know I ended up with them on accident. And Silver Sister's like, yeah, right. No, I did. I really didn't. I didn't even want the one that came and found me. But she did. She came and found me. And then I was dumb. I did not know that kitties get pregnant like a lot. And they have babies very quickly. I had no idea. And before I knew it, the little baby kitty that I used to call Boots, that I now call Mama Kitty, because she's the mama of, well, she's the mama of 4 of them. And then her baby is the mama of the other 4. And that's how we have the 9, because the other mama disappeared. And that's very sad. Because when cats disappear in the desert, I always say, well, I don't say anything. I just say a prayer, because you never know what's going to happen. All right. Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday. Let's get back to that article. Where is it? Let's see. Here we go. All right. Back to the article. Here we are. All right. So 3 senators are filing a bill that they want to keep the Delta 8s and all the other stuff legal until 2028. Under Minnesota's hemp law, which took effect in July of 2022, those 21 and older can purchase, possess, and consume hemp-derived edible and beverage products containing no more than 5 milligrams of THC per serving or 50 milligrams per package. Like in many other states, the forthcoming federal hemp product ban collides with Minnesota's regulations. In the House, James Baird introduced the Hemp Planting Predictability Act on January 12th, alongside James Comer, Andrew Craig, Evans, and Tim Moore. The legislation now has 15 co-sponsors in the lower chamber. 3 days later, Comer held a press conference with hemp industry leaders and farmers to shine a light on the unknown future of the industry, advocating for a responsible, workable regulatory framework over prohibition. The congressman said that the 2018 Farm Bill provided Kentucky's struggling tobacco farmers with an opportunity to diversify, innovate, and remain competitive with a new agricultural commodity. Hemp is a major crop for our Kentucky farmers, and nearly every farmer I know who grew up last year was a former tobacco farmer who grew hemp, not grew up. So all the farmers that he knew used to grow tobacco. So hemp is doing exactly today what I predicted. It has become an alternative crop to tobacco for Kentucky farmers. The last thing they need is inaction from Washington that puts a growing multi-billion-dollar industry at risk. Brian Furnish, an 8th-generation Kentucky farmer from Harrison County, joined Comer during the press conference. His family has grown tobacco since the 1700s, and he began growing hemp in the state's pilot program in 2014. It now represents about 70% of his farm's crop income, he said. Quote, hemp is the only crop that we have found grown for cannabinoids that can rival tobacco and even be better than tobacco right now, he said. Our challenge is if we don't get a 2-year extension, I, as a farmer, can't sell my current inventory that I have harvested legally and planted legally in 2025. As of right now, my farmland has lost over $600,000 in price in the last 6 weeks. Oh my Lord, that's absolutely insane. Our buyers are also telling us that we can't ship any more biomass to them until they move their inventory. And so it's a ripple effect through the whole industry, from the people who make the retail product all the way back to the farmer. Furnish said, if he continues to sit on his inventory, it'll be detrimental to his farm. Yeah, you can't. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to multitask here. I have to get ready for work. Yeah, you can't sit on your product. And I forgot to put my eggs into boil, so we're gonna have some hard-boiled eggs and maybe some deviled eggs is what we might even be making later for lunch. But yeah, you kind of can't do that, because if you sit on it, we all know what happens. It either rots or goes bad or whatever, depending on how you cure it and dry it. But I had a grower, a farmer and he is a farmer. Oh my gosh, one of the best people I've ever met in my life. And he wouldn't smoke anything that was. He had an expiration date even on the stuff that he grew. He gave it a certain time frame, and he was like, nope. After however many days, I don't know if it was 90 days. I'm just making a number up, but he said after so many days, he wouldn't use it because it wasn't fresh anymore. And distractible morning. There are just crazy kitties and things happening all over the place. But yeah, you can't sit on. I mean, they've probably got, thousands and tens of thousands of acres of this stuff sitting around because there's this whole scare, and it's ridiculous. Anyway, it's the only crop we're making money off of, he said. So that's just pretty sad. Well, let's hopefully that works, but I don't know that it will, because the problem is at these hearings, you've got people that are giving false information out, and I saw it for myself. I've seen it myself. I've not seen every hearing there ever was, but I've seen many hearings where, at least a couple recently, where people are telling the judge information that isn't true. And maybe they're doing it out of nervousness, or I don't know why, but that's what's happening. So it's hard to know what someone is saying out there in court, if it's true and if it's correct, because it's nerve-wracking to get out there and to get up there and to do that. That's for sure. It's completely nerve-wracking. So people say things that, I just saw someone recently say that CBD had THC in it. And this person knows better than this. That was a total nervous thing. But in that moment, the judge heard that. The judge heard that CBD had THC in it by somebody who was supposed to be representing a very high standard of the industry. And he got it wrong. And I think it was just because he was nervous, but that doesn't matter. You can't do things like that, because now the judge has banned it for Arizona. Well, at least it's all banned until November anyway. So, but it should be anybody's choice what they want to put in their body. It's just, that's a whole nother situation. All right. Well, you are listening to Weedsday Wednesday right now, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. And if you want to come on down and get certified, we're at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. We're over by Bookman's. And that's at Speedway in Wilmot. We are open 7 days a week. We certify Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the rest of the time, we're selling our wonderful hemp products. So come down and check out what we have. What is this month? End of January already. Can't even believe it's the 28th. My Lord. We're done. January is done. We finished the first month. That is insane. I start getting all these notifications for all my bill pays that are set up. And they're like, your payment's about to send. I'm like, what do you mean? We just got it. Nope. We're done. We are done with January already. Happy January. Happy birthday, Dad, tomorrow. And Mr. Richard the next day. All right. Let's see what else the world of weed has to say. What is this? What's new in Chrome? We don't really want to know right now. All right. What is this? Oh, how many days until Christmas? We already know. Here we go. Cannabis business times. No, there was something from High Times. Oh, this is what. Okay. So this is from High Times. This is an article called One Joint, No Gun. The ATF is rethinking that rule. A new interim rule would end automatic firearm denials based on a instance of marijuana use, aligning federal policy with recent court rulings and growing legal pressure. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Hold on. Hang on. See if I can mute this because this is going to go off for a little bit here. I don't know how to do this. Let's see. I got to get over to my real phone. Sorry. There's going to be some text chatter. So let's see. Here we go. And mute. Okay. Here we go. Now, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives has issued an interim final rule that could significantly narrow the federal ban on firearm possession for people who use cannabis or other controlled substances. Under the proposed change, marijuana use would no longer automatically disqualify someone from purchasing or possessing a firearm. Instead, federal authorities would need evidence of regular or compulsive unlawful drug use over an extended period of time to trigger a prohibition under the Gun Control Act. The rule, published Thursday in the Federal Register, revises the definition of a, quote, unlawful user of or addicted to any controlled substance, quote, a category that has long been interpreted broadly to deny Second Amendment rights to anyone with a recent history of marijuana use. Right, but the question says, and I'm squirreling here for a minute, the question on the application to buy a firearm says, are you addicted? Well, no. So put no. And then you're good. For decades, federal background checks relied on regulatory examples that allowed firearm denials based on a single drug-related incident within the past year. That included an admission of use, sorry folks, a failed drug test, or a lone misdemeanor drug conviction. According to ATF data, nearly half of all firearm denials under the drug user prohibition in fiscal year 2025 were based on such single incident inferences. The agency now says that that approach no longer reflects how courts interpret the law. Quote, such denials create unnecessary constitutional questions, ATF wrote, acknowledging a growing disconnect between federal enforcement practices and appellate court rulings. Under the revised rule, a person would be considered an unlawful user only if they regularly used a controlled substance over an extended period of time and in a manner not authorized by a licensed physician. Isolated or sporadic use would no longer qualify. Okay. Federal courts have increasingly rejected blanket applications of the drug user gun ban. Judges across multiple circuits have ruled that the statute requires a clear temporal link between firearm possession and ongoing drug use, not a single past incident. Oh boy. In September, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that the federal prohibition does not apply to medical cannabis patients who comply with state law. That case was brought by former Florida Agricultural Commissioner Nikki Fried, who now a board member of NORML, along with several registered patients. The issue is now headed to the highest level. In March, the U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments in United States versus Hemani, a case challenging the constitutionality of the federal ban itself. The Justice Department has asked the court to uphold the law, arguing that people who use illegal drugs pose heightened risks. Meanwhile, Attorneys general from 19 states and Washington, D.C. have filed briefs siding with the federal government, even though many of those states have legalized cannabis, marijuana, Moment reported. What the rule does and does not do, ATF officials emphasize that the change does not legalize drug use or eliminate the firearm prohibition altogether. Instead, it narrows its scope and removes regulatory examples that treated one-time use as proof of unlawful status. The rule takes effect immediately but remains open for public comment through January 30th of 2026. ATF said it may revisit the definition again after the Supreme Court issues its ruling. For now, the agency says the goal is clarity. By removing automatic denials tied to isolated drug use, ATF argues that the revised rule better aligns federal regulations with decades of court precedent while reducing erroneous background check denials, reducing erroneous background check denials that could infringe on constitutional rights. Oh, okay. Editor's note, High Times is reporting on a proposed federal rule change. This coverage is not an endorsement of gun ownership or firearm use. If you choose to own a firearm, prioritize safe storage, training, and keeping guns away from children and anyone at risk of harm. There you go. Oh, the photo is Shutterstock, which is funny because this is it's a interesting photo. So looks like a man's hand holding looks like a little pistol, and levers cocked back, he's about to shoot out a pot leaf. I mean, come on. I don't know. Whatever has to happen with firearms, there just need to be background checks. Seriously. But the problem is the people that are shooting up schools and malls and doctors and everybody else, they're not the ones that are going to try and buy something legally. I mean, we know this, right? I mean, we do know this, right? The criminals don't follow rules. Hello. All right. Okay. What else? What else is going on in the world of weed? The fight over 7-OH is splitting the kratom world. Where is legalization on the ballot? The cannabis labyrinth in Spain, a timid regulation for a pain that won't wait. The cannabis people hate the hemp people. Inside the quiet alliance between alcohol and big pharma. Well, that's interesting. The cannabis people hate the hemp people. Yeah, that's because the cannabis people are the dispensary people. Sorry, and y'all have been a bunch of greedy bastards and have not done things the right way. Not all of y'all. You know what I mean. Not all y'alls, but I've had experience, so I can say this from experience. I wouldn't say it if I didn't. All right, let's see it. For years, the crackdown on hemp-derived THC products has been framed as a matter of consumer safety. Psh. Products too strong, rules too loose, markets moving faster than regulators. Last week, one of the most widely watched podcasts in the world, a sitting U.S. senator described a different dynamic at play. Appearing on the Joe Rogan Experience, Rand Paul said the push to effectively ban most consumable hemp THC products was driven not only by lawmakers, but also by lobbying pressure from the alcohol industry and the segments of the state legal cannabis industry itself. They want all the money. The exchange was first reported by Marijuana Moment, and it caught Rogan visibly off guard. I wonder if we can play this. Let's see. Hang on. We're going to go to a different browser. And we're going to put it over here because there is a video. And you know I love my videos. All right, let's see if we can get it. See if we can get the video going here. Turn the eggs off. Let's see what we got going.
Well, the proof is in the pudding. There have absolutely been horrific side effects of bunch of different pharmaceutical drugs. You don't hear a peep about any of that stuff on CNN.
And you wonder who's buying a drug when they say, well, you could die, you could become paralyzed, you could have a stroke, you could have a blood clot.
Explosive bloody diarrhea, yeah, lost all your memory, suicidal ideation. They just list them all.
They list them all
Mhm.
like this, but it's all your doctor. They're
Yeah.
protecting you, so you can take Ambien, but God forbid you take a hemp gummy. They will put your ass in jail if you take a hemp gummy. And they've just recently outlawed all the hemp stuff, and I've been fighting this for the last 2 months. But all the hemp products, and in Texas actually has a lot, they're all going to be banned within 1 year now.
Now, how did that get passed?
Mitch McConnell.
How is that guy still around? When he just freezes up every now and again, he locks up like Windows 95.
He is very, very powerful. A lot of people, he raised money for decades, hundreds of millions of dollars, passed it out to the lesser known senators and helped them get elected when they would get challenges. And so then they all owe him. And so I forced an amendment. And it's funny, then the people over there go, why are you doing this? The government shutdown. Why are you coming up the works with a vote on it? I don't, because they stuck it on the door and we opened the government. It's not my choice. And at that time, it was one of those choices. And so I brought forward an amendment. Now I'm going something votes and Senate voted. But they voted to set the amendment and change the amount of THC in the plant. So all the plants are illegal now. All the seeds are illegal. There's a real industry of farmers who grow this. The thing is, who are we to tell somebody who can't sleep at night that an Ambien is better for them than taking a hemp gummy to go sleep at night? Or a veteran who could take Percocet or some kind of psychotropic drug, or who has anxiety or post-traumatic stress, and we're going to tell them they can't take a hemp gummy. I think it's insane and very much this presumption that we know.
Selfish.
Is this
Yep.
the alcohol lobby? What is the motivation? It was a little bit the alcohol lobby and the cannabis lobby. The cannabis people hate the hemp people.
The cannabis people hate the hemp people.
Well, it's complicated. The
It's not.
cannabis industry develops state by state, and you really can't make a marijuana product in Colorado and sell it in Kentucky. You can't go across state lines. The hemp, because it was legalized nationally,
Do whatever the hell you want with it. Yep. Everywhere.
Until this law came out. And McConnell always felt it was an unintended consequence. Some of the growth might have been, but I don't think it was, there were some bad products out there. And all of us, including the hemp industry, said, all right, let's regulate this. Let's not have 100 milligram gummies. The more traditionalists were like 5 milligrams. That's in a drink or in a gummy that people will take.
Reasonable.
Yeah, and I think I haven't taken it. I'm for the freedom to take it, but I sleep pretty good. But so it's not really something I can attest to exactly how it works. But people who do take it to me that have one of the drinks say it might be like drinking a beer, or maybe not even drinking a beer when you drink one of these THC drinks.
So the cannabis businesses in the states where it's legal don't want it legal nationally, because then it would interfere with their business, because you'd be able to order it through the mail.
Well, they probably accept it if we legalize cannabis nationally, and then they would compete with hemp. What was going on is we haven't legalized cannabis nationally. We've legalized it state by state. But I don't think even if your state has legal adult use and another one does, I don't think you can transfer it across the state line.
You're saying hemp, but you really mean THC.
That's
Right.
for marijuana. That's
CBD and THC, correct?
CBD has a little bit of THC in it, and so do the hemp gummies have some THC in it, and then the drinks do. It's about 5 milligrams
Right.
in a lot of the different doses. There are different doses, but that is, so all of those are going to be
See?
illegal? Yeah, the McConnell language says you can't have more than 0.4 milligrams, which is such a low number that I don't think it'll have any effect. I mean, frankly, the THC is the effect.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you make the THC number so small, I don't think people will take them. The CBD oil, people might still take some of that, but I assume if the effect that people are getting from the CBD oil, if they rub it on, has to be the THC.
No,
Okay. Let's see.
no, CBD itself with no THC has a beneficial effect.
Okay.
There's CBD balm
Thank you,
that
Joe.
you can use for like
was just
arthritis.
gonna
and
say
things along
That
those
may
lines.
still be legal. The plant, though, they changed the definition of the plant that the CBD oil comes from, so they're gonna have to rehybridize all these plants.
What I was gonna,
Okay. So This is an interesting little conversation, and I think we're going to get back to that. But it is 9 o'clock, so we are going to say thank you so much for tuning in to Weedsday Wednesday. Forgive all my distractions this morning. Deviled eggs. What can I say? Thanks for tuning in, folks. We love being here with you guys. Remember, be smart, be safe, and educate. Happy Weedsday Wednesday. Go smoke some weed, smoke a bong, do whatever. Have some fun out there. Be nice, be kind, and have an awesome day. Happy Weedsday, everybody.
If you suffer
Happy Weedsday.